This is the Scarcity Studios YouTube channel. Please don't forget to like, comment, share and subscribe. And our sponsors are Alpha Claims and Hire Birmingham, the leading and best accident management company. Get a replacement car anywhere in 1 hour. I really appreciate you joining me today, and I've got several stories from different parts of the country to highlight some smaller towns and cities. The first story is about how the regional organised crime unit known as Roku put surveillance on a gang back in 2019 and actually found them delivering kilos of cocaine. This was before the EncroChat raids, and they were found with encrypted phones, and this was an example of how the police gathered intel on the amount of criminals they were catching with encrypted phones, and this is what led the French police to go on to hack EncroChat. 3 men who were part of what they described as a drug empire sold massive quantities of cocaine across the country and have been jailed. An extensive investigation by Roku found that the organised crime group, led by 2 brothers called Ansar and Ajmal Akram from the Hemel Hempstead area of Hertfordshire, they used the EncroChat phones to move multiple kilos of cocaine each time. And in a picture that the police actually recovered, it shows a stamp that they had on it. And the stamp stands for authenticity, the same way that when you go to Sainsbury's or Asda, you'll get the brand of trust. And that is exactly what it is in the cartel world as well. The industry is so big that putting a stamp that makes it certified as good quality can go a long way. They said the gang had lieutenants and they travelled the length and breadth of the country to sell drugs including Yorkshire, Dorset, Middlesbrough, Leicester, Luton, Northampton and Buckinghamshire. They distributed substantial amounts of cocaine and they sold it to other organised crime groups who would then sell on to other people. A third man named Ryan Brockley from Leicestershire acted as a wholesaler and was instrumental in a number of exchanges that the police monitored in October 2019. On the 9th of August 2021, they were sentenced at St Albans Crown Court as follows. Ansar Akram from Hemel Hempstead was jailed for 15 years after pleading guilty to conspiracy to supply cocaine and possession of criminal property. Ajmal Akram, 30, also from Hemel, was jailed for 14 years and found guilty of supplying cocaine and also criminal property. Ryan Brockley from Leicester was sentenced to 5 years and found guilty of conspiracy to supply cocaine. 3 other men also pleaded guilty on Wednesday, August the 10th, with charges of conspiracy to supply Class A drugs and are due to be sentenced on the 6th of September. Detective Inspector Ian Mudsley from the Regional Organised Crime Unit said, "It's apparent the brothers were instrumental in the distribution of massive amounts of cocaine across the country. The operation was directed from the security of their own home in an attempt to keep their hands clean, while other members of the group were put at risk." They said a series of other investigations were launched due to the monitoring of this gang as well. So this shows the police go to great lengths and don't mind waiting and taking their time in order to apprehend people. In some other news from Bedfordshire, police from the Regional Organised Crime Unit found an automatic firearm, also a handgun, in a residential raid in addresses on Lake Street. 2 men aged in their 20s were arrested and 1 man was in their 30s. They were arrested for possession of firearms and taken into custody for further questioning. 3 different police forces have worked together in this operation. They include Bedfordshire Police Force, the Met Police Force and Essex Police. Detective Chief Inspector Trevor Davidson said, "It goes to show that the illegal firearms present a real danger on the streets of our communities, and the result follows significant work by a number of law enforcement agencies, and we are committed to removing them from the streets." But if anything else does come from that story, I'll definitely keep you updated. I really appreciate you joining me. I'll be back again very shortly with some more news. Please don't forget you can follow me online as well as Scarcity Studios, and I'll be back again very shortly with some more news. Peace.